Our coverage of Computex 2018 was made possible by Rebeltech and Gigabyte with their all-new Aero 15X, running Intel's new 8th generation 6-core i7 CPUs, 144Hz display, and also a GTX 1070 Max-Q. You'll find all of the links in the video description. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to We Do Tech. As you guys know, I went to Computex 2018 a few days back, where we did see a lot of cool new products being released, but we do also have some new ones from Gigabyte, which we are going to take a look at in this video. Now, most of the other companies had their booths at the standard Computex booths where everybody else was, or some of them had a suite in one of the near hotels, but Gigabyte took it a bit further and they rented out a space in the Taipei 101 tower. If you guys don't know what that is, it is the tallest tower in Taipei, and it is about, if I remember, like 400 or 500 meters tall. It's crazy high and it's super fancy. So they had their own section there, and we were able to go there and take a look at some of their new products and just see all of the crazy stuff they had showcasing there as well. Now, if you guys want to see the entire just like a tour of their suite or whatever you call it, their level, then you can check out the link in the video description. Also, just on my channel, I did do a live stream there showcasing the entire venue they had, their gaming section, and then also the server section, which I do know a lot of stuff about, but just showcasing all of it. And yeah, if you guys want to see the entire thing, just follow that link and just watch that video. But now, starting off, one of the big things that Gigabyte did showcase was their all new Aorus. So starting off, one of the big things that Gigabyte did showcase was their all new Aorus memory. So they are also getting into the memory game alongside a few of the other competitors, but they are changing it up a bit and showing something a bit new. So the new memory they are producing does have a silver heat spreader with the Aorus logo and the name on the bottom side, but it's not really too big or anything. It is nice and neat. It does feature addressable RGB, which will work with the Gigabyte Fusion, so you can change all of your lighting and everything there. And I have to say, this new memory does look very nice. It's nice and clean, and if you just want to showcase all of your RGB, this is definitely something you can go for. Now, unfortunately, currently it is only coming out in a 2x8 16 gig kit running at 3200 megahertz. But the thing that actually makes this new memory stand out above all of the others is that it is a dual channel kit, so you do just get the two DIMMs, but you will see that everywhere they showcase 4 DIMMs, and that is because if you do buy the dual kit, you'll get 2 extra dummy memory sticks. So how that actually works is you do get your standard 2 working ones, and then the other ones is kind of just a shell with the RGB. It doesn't really have a memory chip inside, so you just get the cool looking heat spreader with the RGB. So this is something that I have to say is really awesome. I did hear some people asking, why would you actually do this? And those people probably have enough money just to buy 4 DIMMs anyway, and they don't really have a problem. But a lot of people don't have the cash just to buy 4 or 32 gigs of memory or whatever. They can only afford 16 gigs, which is pretty much the standard nowadays, 8 to 16. And the thing is, if you just have the 2 DIMM slots occupying 2 of the 4 slots, it doesn't really look that impressive. So now with that, you can get all 4 of your slots occupied, and it just looks that much more impressive. Now, it is kind of faking it, but it looks cool nonetheless, and that's the thing that Aorus is going for, and I really have to say, I do really dig it. And then along with that, Gigabyte did also showcase some laptops they had there on display. One of them being the Aero 15X, which I actually currently have right here, and that I did take along with me to Computex to edit all of my videos on. So again, a big thanks to Gigabyte for letting me one of these to do everything. And especially editing all of my videos in 4K, this thing did work really hard, but it does have all of the horsepower to handle that with it also having the new Intel 8th generation 6-core i7 CPU, which makes 4K editing just a dream. It's also just nice and thin and light to travel with, and especially if you guys are traveling a lot, then a thin laptop, just a light laptop, is definitely something you need. But it does also feature 144 Hz 1080p display, which is awesome for gaming and just all out work. And then also you get a different model with a 4K display running at 60 Hz. And then also it does feature a GTX 1070 Max Q for just to handle that 144 Hz display for everything gaming related. But it wasn't the only Aero they showed off. They did also show the Aero 14, which is a smaller model of the Aero 15. But the Aero 14 features the same 6-core i7, but with a GTX 1050 Ti and a 14-inch QHD IPS display. But along with the Aeros, they did show off the Sabre 17, the Aorus X5, X7, and X9, which are all updated to the new 6-core 8th generation Intel CPUs. And with the X9 DT, that actually has the new i9 CPU and is also running a GTX 1080 internal graphics card. And talking about internal graphics cards, they did also showcase their external GPU enclosure running an RX 580 powering a MacBook. So with this, you'll be able to play games actually on your MacBook, and it'll actually be able to handle all of the graphics intensive work through Thunderbolt, and you'll just be able to play games and just do more stuff because, yeah, MacBooks kind of don't really do a lot of gaming. So yeah, that's something you can go for. And then unfortunately something that I missed, I'm not too sure if it was actually at the venue I was, but they did also showcase their newer Aorus X399 Extreme motherboard, which is more focused for the upcoming Threadripper 2 CPU, having a whopping 32 cores and 64 threads. So that thing is going to be a beast. So later on we will get some more information about that motherboard. Now most of this was showcased just openly, but they did also have a kind of a walkway into their gaming room, which just was all out awesomeness. It really did look like a gaming cave. There was RGB lighting everywhere. There was a bunch of gaming stations set up with like a racing wheel, racing simulator set up, just 3 triple monitors everywhere, and then also they had a pretty cool water build, like a fish tank PC. So that was really cool. It did have like fish inside it alongside the GPU. So it kind of looked like the GPU was underneath in the mineral oil, and then more at the top they added water for the fish to actually swim inside. So that was really cool to see. I will try to add the link in the video description for how they actually built this water tank or fish tank PC, so you guys can actually watch that. But it was really cool. That entire room was just all out awesomeness. And again, if you want to see how it actually will look completely, you can check out the live stream that I did from there as well. And then finally, in one of the rooms, they did also have a bunch of server related stuff, which I of course have a ton of knowledge of, and I can just talk for hours on end on what that stuff is. So yeah. So that's pretty much it for my coverage of the Gigabyte venue at Computex 2018 in the Taipei 101 Tower, which was really awesome. I have to say I did dig that they brought out their own memory, which with that 2 dummy modules, I have to say that's really, really cool. Power supply, getting into that one as well, but I'm curious now if they are going to produce a bit other components as well now, because they do have their Aorus air cooler, their Aorus case, so maybe they'll also make or partner up with some other manufacturers to produce a water cooler. That would be quite cool, and just perhaps fans as well, we never know. They can either do it on their own, or they can partner up with somebody, but that would be quite cool if you can get everything on Aorus. I have to say that will be something interesting. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it for my coverage. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, comment like always, and then I'll check all of you guys next time. Cheers, guys.